Guys want to know what my new favorite dessert is? It's this dessert, Chewy chocolate brownies. I spent a long time getting this recipe right, so I hope it's your new favorite too. I just added a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder to 3/4 of a cup plus 2 tablespoons of flour. You might think that that's like a weird amount, and you'd be right. Normally I don't like using strange amounts like that. I like to keep things simple, but I must have made this like 10 times before I decided that it was good enough to print. So there are some interesting moments in it, and I'll share them all with you. This is 7 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate, and to that I'm adding 3 tablespoons of safflower oil. You could also use coconut oil if you want sort of like a Mounds flavor profile, which is really delicious. And to that, add 7 tablespoons of unsalted butter. I like the flavor of butter better, but you get a certain amount of chewiness when you use oil, which is why I'm using a combination. And just like with the amount of flour, which is a little unusual, I went back and forth with the amount of oil and the amount of butter that I could use to get just the right amount of chewiness without being overwhelmingly oily flavored, because I don't really love that oil flavor. I settled on 3 tablespoons. Maybe you don't care about all of the inner workings of my mind, but I'm sharing them with you anyway. You want to melt these together in a double boiler, so the bottom of the pot should be over but not touching simmering water. Shouldn't take too long for them to melt. And as in all instances, really, when you're cooking with chocolate, you want to choose the best quality chocolate. I like Valrhona or Guittard here, both delicious chocolates. That's the major flavoring of your brownie, and you want it to be majorly delicious, right? So keep an eye on it. You can also do this in the microwave if you want to. And then take it off. Now what you want to do is add your sugar. It's got quite a bit of sugar, but I used a combination of light brown sugar, 1 cup, and granulated sugar, also 1 cup. The light brown sugar adds to the chewiness and gives it sort of a deepish caramel flavor, which I like. So then whisk your sugar into the chocolate mixture. You want it to dissolve a little bit. It's not going to completely dissolve at this point, so it will look a little bit granular, I guess, but whisk for about 10 seconds. You can see it's definitely still grainy looking, but the chocolate has been cooled down a little bit by the sugar, and now you can add your eggs, 3 large eggs, and those get whisked in as well. At this point, you want to whisk for about 45 seconds. It seems a little overly exacting, but what I found was if you whisk it a lot like that so that it gets kind of shiny, the egg whites rise to the top during baking and make this beautiful crackly crust. And if you don't do that, then that doesn't happen. So if you like a crackly crust on top of your brownies, this is one of the ways that you get it. It's not going to completely dissolve the sugar, so don't be looking for that. What you're looking for is an almost completely dissolved sugar and sort of a shiny look. Now you can stop whisking and stir in your dry ingredients. Have your oven preheating to 350 degrees. Okay, you can pour this into a 9x9 pan. It's been buttered and lined with parchment, leaving an overhang. The overhang makes it easier to remove the brownies when they're done. Don't you just want to eat that now? I do. Because of the amount of chocolate in here, it sets up really quickly. It starts getting a little bit stiff, so spread it out quickly and then get it into your oven. You can make this in an 8x8 if you want to. It'll be a little bit thicker and slightly less chewy. If you bake it in an 8x8, you'll bake it a little bit longer and it'll be a little bit fudgier. Just get this into your 350-degree oven. You want to bake it until a cake tester inserted in the center comes out with moist crumbs attached. That'll be like 35 to 40 minutes. You're going to want to let these cool, which I have done, which is good because then I get to try them. And that's what it's all about, right? Getting to eat them. I cook because I like to eat. That's a little secret that I thought I would share with you, in case you didn't know that already. The center's a little bit fudgier, the edges are a little bit chewier, so you're gonna get a little bit of something for everybody. The chewy edges are what I like. But a lot of people really like the fudgy interior, so. You try them, you make them, you eat them, you tell me if you like the chewy edges or the fudgy interior better. Comments below.